All right, everybody. Good morning. This is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Football Talk for Sunday, November 21st. I'm getting this video out bright and early because I haven't done my wide receivers and quarterbacks video yet, and I'm so happy to be having a Sunday off. Happy to be able to sleep in. I just woke up. It's 8:45 Pacific time. I did all the research and stuff for this last night, so I was ready to do this morning before the games started. Now that we got, the official actives and inactives, and shaping up to be a rough week for me. Hopefully, it's a little bit better of a week for you. I really wanted to start Gronkowski this week, but he doesn't play till Monday, and that's just real risky. He's still questionable. He didn't practice yesterday. Not a good sign. I just recently popped him out of all my lineups. Put in other tight ends who, aren't terrible, haven't been terrible this year, but I just don't trust them as much this week. But, Gronkowski doesn't play. I'd rather take whatever they give me than the zero that Gronk would give me. So, but yeah, let's get the wide receiver spikes and yikes in here, or running backs spiking, both of them, wide receivers and running backs here quickly. So, wide receivers. The wide receivers, yiking, the guys I'm yiking. These are some guys in the top 25, which would be, wide receiver 2 or high end flex consideration, who I would downgrade a little bit. Starting with Tyler Lockett at 16 versus the Cardinals. Tyler Lockett, other than one game, hasn't done much this year, and I'm not convinced that he will. So, I know that Russell Wilson is back, and Russell Wilson's probably going to be healthier in this game. But he's still not really a trustworthy option for me. I would have him outside the top 25. DJ Moore at 20 versus the Washington football team. I really like DJ Moore's talent, and I really hope that the Cam Newton experiment works out for him. However, I don't think it's going to be this week. I'm anticipating Carolina getting the shit kicked out of them by a Washington football team this week. So DJ Moore could see a lot of targets, a lot of volume, but the production hasn't been there for DJ Moore to consider starting him this week. Hunter Renfrow at 21 versus the Bengals. The Raiders need somebody to throw the ball to. Hunter Renfrow has been reliable as a slot target for Derek Carr this season. However, he really hasn't done a whole lot with those targets. I still have him as a flex play. Maybe 25, mid-tier flex play. 25 probably a good spot for him. 21 seems a little high. 21 means that, you're starting him as a high-end flex. I don't think he's a high-end flex. I think he's a safe flex with a high ceiling, a high floor, low ceiling. If there's better options out there for you, which I'm having to start Renfrow as my wide receiver 2. He's actually my wide receiver 1 in one league because I got some injuries. I got some guys on bye. So I'm having to start Renfrow and Bateman as my wide receivers this week. So luckily, that's just a free league so I don't care nearly as much as I do in some other leagues. And lastly, Devontae Smith, 25 versus Saints. Devontae Smith has looked really good the last 2 games. I'll give him that. But he's been inconsistent for most of the season, and he's seen a guy named Marshawn Lattimore this week, and Marshawn Lattimore is probably going to shut him down. So I would not be playing Devontae Smith this week. For the wide receivers that I'm spiking, guys outside the top 25, who I think could play their way into the top 20, or at least the high-end flex. For the week, Michael Gallup at 28 against the Chiefs. Michael Gallup is healthy. Amari Cooper is out, and this is a really bad Chiefs secondary. This is gonna be a high-scoring game, more than likely. Loving Michael Gallup in this one, top 20 play for me this week. Darnell Mooney at 31, I think that says. That's really poor number writing on my end there. But Darnell Mooney, 31 versus the Ravens. Darnell Mooney is looking like the number 1 option for the Bears. Hopefully the Bears, I shouldn't say hopefully because I don't really care about the Bears. I hope the Bears continue to suck. But for Darnell Mooney's purposes, we hope the Bears use the bye week to figure out how to make him more effective, get him the ball more. I was hoping the same thing for Allen Robinson, but Allen Robinson is out today, which again, helps Darnell Mooney's case even more today than I thought it would yesterday. Darnell Mooney against the Ravens secondary. Ravens defense has not met the expected production this year. So Darnell Mooney could have himself a day. I've got Darnell Mooney as a top 25 play for the week. A couple other guys. Kenny Golladay, Kadarius Toney for the Giants, 35 and 36 at the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers secondary has proven that it is human. It can be, teams can successfully throw on them. And Golladay and Toney are supposedly healthy this week. Saquon Barkley's supposed to be back for this game. I hope he's back for this game because there's some leagues where I'm needing him. He's my only healthy running back. And so I need Barkley to play and do something. But I think it's going to be more of a Golladay and Toney day. They're the only healthy wide receivers for the Giants. I think Darius Slayton might be healthy. I know Sterling Shepard is out. I know Evan Ingram is going to be a non-factor. I think it's going to be a Golladay and Toney kind of day. They are, I don't know if I would start either one of them, but I would have them in the top 30. And Bryan Edwards down at 48 for the Raiders versus the Bengals. Again, somebody's got to catch some balls for the Raiders. Bryan Edwards has always had that talent. He's always had that ability. He just hasn't been getting the run with Henry Ruggs and stuff. But now that Henry Ruggs is completely out of the picture, Bryan Edwards should be getting more opportunities. Bryan Edwards is a speed guy who can get it done deep, but also has the talent to, run some different kinds of routes. I'm excited to see what Bryan Edwards can provide to this Raiders offense moving forward. Again, I don't know if I'd be starting him. I don't know if I'm putting him in the top 30. But he's a very intriguing option for me, 48. I would have him in, just outside the top 30. He's someone that I'm definitely watching. And if he has a big game this week, excuse me, I did just wake up. My voice doesn't even sound right now. I don't know. Bryan Edwards is a prospect that I'll be watching. If he has a big game, I'll probably be adding him to my waiver wire video, or my waiver wire thing for week 12. All right, running backs. I got a big problem with these running back rankings this week, and I know we got a lot of injuries and stuff to sift through, to deal with, but still, I think ESPN could have done a lot better with these rankings. I'm gonna try to make some sense of it for you. The running backs that I'm yiking. How do I keep saying that? Yiking down bad. Nick Chubb, Browns 6 versus Lions. Nick Chubb is coming back from COVID, so he's a little rusty. And then Nick Chubb, before the injury, before the COVID, wasn't putting up running back one numbers anyway with Kareem Hunt and Dearness Johnson taking some snaps. Nick Chubb wasn't getting the touchdowns. Will that happen today? Who knows? It's the Lions. The Lions are bad. So Nick Chubb could get a lot of work, could be very productive with that work. However, I don't think that he deserves to be ranked in the top 10 this week. We need to see it. Big Nick Chubb fan though. I really like Nick Chubb a lot. AJ Dillon 10. Packers at the Vikings. I like AJ Dillon. I like AJ Dillon this week. With no Aaron Jones, I think AJ Dillon's going to be a monster. However, this is his first career start. There's no reason he should be a top 10 running back in his first career start. We need to see him do it as the bell cow before we consider him a bell cow, right? And the Vikings, I'm hoping, I don't want to be biased here, but I'm optimistic the Vikings are going to win this game and stay competitive and not get blown out, and shut AJ Dillon down a little bit. I think Dillon still going to be very productive. He's very involved in the passing game. He's been very productive in limited work rushing the ball. I think Dillon's going to have a good day, but he's not a top 10 running back for me. I've got him as a top 15 play. So he's someone you're still starting and you're still should still get some production from, but not top 10. Saquon Barkley, 14, Giants at Buccaneers. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I don't think Saquon Barkley is going to have the most effective day against a really good Tampa Bay run defense after missing all those weeks that he's missed. He did when he was It took him a while to get back to 100%, coming off that quad injury early in the year, and then he got hurt again. Is he going to be completely 100% right off the bat? I really doubt it, and Tampa's rush defense is one of the best we've ever seen. So I know Barkley gets involved in the passing game. It's going to help him with production and targets and stuff like that, touches, but how productive will he really be with all those touches? Saquon Barkley's more of a low-end low-end running back too, not mid-tier running back too for me. Myles Gaskin, 17 Dolphins at Jets. I can't understand. Can somebody please help me understand why Myles Gaskin is consistently ranked in the top 20? He is so bad. I know he gets 15 plus touches a game, which is what we all love to see from a running back in fantasy football. We love that. That's volume, that's opportunity. But he does absolutely nothing with those touches. Nothing. He does nothing. He is terrible. He's barely a flex play with all those touches. I don't understand why he's consistently top 20. Myles Gaskin is like top 30 at best at the running back position. I have him outside my top 25. Again, I don't care how many touches he gets. He does nothing with those touches. So, not top 20. And then Jeff Wilson, 19, 49ers at Jaguars. A lot of hype around Jeff Wilson Jr. this week because Elijah Mitchell is out. Is Jeff Wilson Jr. going to be the guy in San Francisco for the week, or is it going to be a timeshare? San Francisco running backs have always been a mess in the Kyle Shanahan. I don't think that changes this week with Elijah Mitchell out. Jeff Wilson Jr. may lead the backfield in carries, but it also could be Trey Sermon. It could be Jermichael Hasty. Jeff Wilson Jr., I know he's done well when given the opportunity before, but I'm not convinced he's 100% healthy this week, for one. I'm not convinced he sees the majority of the work this week, like a lot of people believe. And I don't trust the 49ers backfield at all. I trust Jimmy Garoppolo, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle right now. That passing game is lethal right now. The running game, quite the mess under Kyle Shanahan, as it always is in any Shanahan offense, whether it be Kyle or Mike. So, is Jeff Wilson still a flex play this week? Most definitely. Especially given all the running back injuries, we're all probably starting Jeff Wilson Jr. if we have Jeff Wilson Jr., but not a top 20 running back for me this week. Now to the running backs that I'm spiking. All right, starting at 21, Antonio Gibson. I really think this is going to be a week that Antonio Gibson gets back on track. He is presumably close to 100%. And again, as I've been saying all week, I think the Washington football team is going to be in a very positive run game script in this game, as I think they're going to kick the shit out of the Panthers. So Antonio Gibson, who also is very involved in the passing game, or should be. I know it's J.D. McKissick's show, but I think this is going to be a week where Antonio Gibson plays himself back into the top 15. Alex Collins of the Seahawks, 23 versus the Cardinals. Again, Chris Carson is now out for the year. We wish him well. Whether he can actually come back from that injury, there's some doubt there. So this is going to be the Alex Collins show for at least the rest of the season. We know Alex Collins is not sexy. He's not great, but he has been fairly productive when given the opportunity to be the lead guy for the Ravens and the Seahawks. If the Seahawks will trust him as the running back, he's going to be a weekly top 20 play, including this week. Now, Clyde Edwards-Helaire at 27, Chiefs versus the Cowboys. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is due to return this week, so that's going to put a damper on Darrell Williams. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think, even if he's not healthy, I still like him as a top 20 play this week in what is sure to be a great offensive show between these two teams this week. Clyde Edwards-Helaire should be very productive, no matter how many touches he ends up getting. I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, CEH, as a top 20 player, running back too. Next, Devontae Freeman and Latavius Murray of the Ravens, both 33 and 34 against the Bears. Now, I'm not saying they're both going to be flex plays, but one of them is going to be very much be in the flex conversation. Whichever one ends up being the, I don't know which one it's going to be. Whichever one is going to be the guy in that offense, whichever one's going to get the goal line touches. Very much going to be in the flex conversation. If again, given the state of running backs this week, the injuries that we're dealing with, you're probably playing both of them as a flex anyway. Whichever one you have, you're rolling with it, and I think you're going to get whichever from one of them, 50% chance you're going to get a top. Let's be conservative, top 25 week from one of them. The other might actually be 33, 34, which is just outside the flex consideration, but I think they both honestly could be top 30 running backs this week if the Ravens continue to split the carries. But I really think it's probably only gonna be one who's gonna be the guy who gets the red zone touches. That's probably Latavius Murray. So Latavius Murray seems like the safer pick, but Devontae Freeman could be more productive. Moving the ball down the field between the 20s, especially Lamar Jackson is out today too, so the Ravens could rely even more heavily on the run game than they already do. I know Lamar Jackson gets a lot of rushing yards himself. That's probably not going to happen with Tyler Huntley, though I am really excited to see Tyler Huntley play. I really thought that he looked really good in the preseason. I want to see Tyler Huntley get his chance. And lastly, Jordan Howard way down at 42 of the Eagles versus Saints. Again, I know Miles Sanders is back, but Miles Sanders is not good. So this probably Miles Sanders coming back is going to affect Kenneth Gainwell and Boston Scott a lot more than it's going to affect Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard is still going to be the guy that they give the ball to in the end zone to fall into the end zone to get a touchdown. That's not going to change. Jordan Howard's role is not going to change. Jordan Howard, all he has to do is fall into the end zone once, and he exceeds his projections for the week. So it's pretty much house money with Jordan Howard. And if you really need some flex plays, there's probably better than Jordan Howard. Given we don't know what to expect from the Eagles' backfield from week to week, but I do, as I've been saying for a few weeks now, Jordan Howard does seem like the safest bet because his role is not going to go away. He's going to get the touchdown. He's going to get the red zone runs. But yeah, there's probably better flex plays, but there's also worse flex plays out there. So, just gotta. Sometimes you just gotta have some faith. So that's it. That's wide receivers and running backs. I'm gonna hop in the shower, get dressed, get looking a little nicer, feeling a little nicer than I feel, and hopefully catch some games this morning. Even though I do have some plans, I am going down to Eugene to see somebody very special to me. So, and that might be an all-day thing, but yeah. So go Vikings. Let's Craven the Packers, and good luck with your lineups today. I'm hoping that I have a little bit more success than I feel like I'm going to have this week. There's just a few leagues that I care about more than the others. I hope I succeed in those leagues. My money league, I just had to bench Lamar Jackson. Picked up Jimmy Garoppolo for the week because I don't. I have Kirk Cousins as my other quarterback in the league, but I don't. I trust Garoppolo this week more than I trust Kirk Cousins. So I'm rolling with Garoppolo. Kirk Cousins staying on my bench, and yeah, I'm hoping I can continue to be successful in that league, even with essentially a third string quarterback. So, all right, peace, love, and nacho fries.